Aloha. I wanted to do a quick video and try to put things into some kind of context, like a deeper context of human anchors in reference to flat Earth, the Mandela effect, and really just understanding our reality and how we are involved in creating our reality and experiencing our reality, and the importance of being aware of that relationship and where the power comes from, where it exists, where it's going, and where we are going in reference to like what this all means when we're talking about like flat Earth and the Mandela effect and NASA being full of shit, and all this stuff is extremely those tentacles, like those tentacles of NASA, they go far, and I wanted to kind of just expand in a quick video and revisit some of the things that I've been talking about for a while, but also lock into this is what was kind of like the the what led up to this video was me thinking about philosophy, and I was thinking like how philosophy would be completely different. Like, for one example, everything, that's my main point of this whole thing, is everything would be completely different if, for example, right after the civil rights time frame in 1970, instead of just having the Civil Rights Act being passed, we actually found out that the earth was flat. So before the technological boom, before crack was installed into the communities, before the internet, before apps and cell phones, before all this stuff that NASA has claimed to done, not to mention the fact that NASA's been getting $10 billion per year since like 1958 or whenever it was put up. So that's, for example purposes, in 1970, that's $460 billion. So almost $500 billion has been invested into a lie. Like, what would happen if that money was vested into the communities, or, for example, just like health or philosophy or anything else other than a damn lie? Like, what? Just anything. And I was thinking that I should do a video on like what are some of the main points that are affected by such grandiose like lies, and how far it affects us, and get it really like tapped into the like how to the experience, the human experience itself, not so much so the 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 physical realities of what this earth plane looks like and all this other stuff, but really kind of zero in on the relationship that people have with each other, people have with themselves, and people have with the earth plane and their experience, and whatever they consider to be their creator or their version or purpose. And I guess I'll start there with like the purpose itself, like having a purpose, knowing that we're not a mistake, like knowing that we are not just mistakes, monkey mistakes that have been like spit out somebody's like nose, like snot, and then been into like a fish, and then dinosaurs, and then monkeys and Neanderthals, and people who Snapchat each other every day. Like, we're more than just like this artificial version of creation, and stuff like NASA holds up. So NASA creates your identity for the future, which also needs to be founded in a relationship of your past. So the fact that NASA exists has to stand on whatever these individuals have put in your face to be what is your reality of the past and where you came from. So having Copernicus out there telling you that the sun is in the center of the universe, and all the planets are revolving around it. It's so far away, like it separates you from your light source, your energy. The moon is here and there. It just creates all this separation. And to have like the theories and the law of motion and gravity and relativity and all these individuals out there, it creates this inherent slave state to where you are caught up in like a limiting version of reality. And these people are your masters. So if we have masters who have mastered this universe, then we are inherently the slaves of that universe. So people who are out there that are being worshipped as like idols, and people who are in the know of everything, and then they don't comment on things that or act like other things are disconnected, or don't reference the fact that all these other stories are existing. Like the fact that the fact that this program has been going on so successfully is because it's so it's separate. Like you got the food that's affecting people, and the fluoride that's doing so. The genetics, our very coding and our genetic coding is being affected, and we're liking it with the food. Then we have the sugar complex, and we have the fluoridated water, which is dumbing us down just like Hitler. We got our time is manipulated with this cell phone. We got laptops, which is like our evolutionary future. This is our since we believe in this monkey evolution, then we're okay with what these masters have told us what is our future, like Back to the Future and all that stuff. So we're okay with laptops. We're okay with this limitation of like the scholastic system and scholasticism and the medieval times of the education. That's basically the pillars of this whole this whole university system from medieval times. And basically that's just like that's a checkers game. We're stuck on a checkers board, when just below the checkerboard is a 3-level chessboard, and just below that are like these pillars that hold everything up. Some of the pillars are just like the monetary system itself, like our human connections, our realities of our universe with NASA. All these ideas that have been artificially pumped out by these individuals to have us in this state of orchestrated limbo and caught up in this magic show, where we're actually providing the magic. We are the ones who are allowing this system to go on the way it is, because we're under this spell. We really trust these individuals who come from these colleges. We really trust our politicians. We really trust these celebrities. We really trust our religious people. We trust all these holidays. We trust all these athletes. We trust this royalty. We trust what's in the newspaper and the mainstream media. We trust our science community and the magic show that's out there. We trust what's on Facebook and social media and all these artificial idols that are out there that maintain this whole game going on. We trust all this stuff because they have told us who and what we are. They've created this slave state of being, this slave mind, this slave hive mind that is based upon an unknowingness, like a lack of knowingness, and a misunderstanding and lack of understanding from our very nature, our connections to each other. And we don't know, like we don't know our ancestors. We don't know our connections. We don't know our connections to, and that inherently separates us from knowing our connections to the earth plane and what's beyond that, and what inherently disconnects us from our ideas of a purpose or a creator. Inherently installs an insecurity state of being, and we have no self-confidence in an outward space and even on a subliminal space, because our subconscious has been manipulated so deeply that we don't even dream anymore, and we are running on like fumes, creative fumes, like the divine fumes. So as long as we are running on a tank, a divine tank of gas that is empty, we can be controlled in a sense. And NASA is just a big control grid in showing us that we are so distant, we are so separate from each other, we are so dumb, pretty much, because NASA is just dumb. They're just dumb. They're just dumb, pretty much. They put out this shit. They don't know anything. They have no answers. They have theories upon theories. If you really look at these TV shows, the design of television itself, how television is actually, when you watch a show and then you watch the commercials, this all one show. It's not separate. When the commercials are connected to the shows, the music in the show is connected to their audience. The audience in the music in the show is connected to the commercial that's coming on next. The commercial from before is connected to the next commercial. The first commercial is connected to the last commercial. The song in the first commercial is the foundation for the song in the last commercial. The last commercial is connected to what the topic is of the show that they're getting ready to go back into after that last commercial. Like, all of this is one big magic show. It's one design that keeps people in this stagnant state of being, and it's hypnosis. It's literal hypnosis. And it's based upon separating us from ourselves and separating us from our true power. And that was my main point about doing this video right now, is that we are in a lack of power when we are separated from ourselves, when we are separated from our culture, each other, our knowingness of the earth plane. We are separated. When we are divided, we can be conquered, and we can be herded into this chattelistic version of our reality, and we are completely powerless. When we have the existence of NASA and people like Neil deGrasse Tyson and Einstein who are worshipped, these idols that are out there, when we have these people existing that are out there more vibrant than our ancestors and our elders, and the stories that exist from our creative space and our creation itself, like, these people exist on theories upon theories. They exist in a lack of knowingness and a misunderstanding, and we worship that. And so that we are basically animals. So we get caught up in that version of reality, and then they just amplify it. They just sell it back to us with these cartoon movies from kids all the way up. And they sell us our technology, and the technology is focused upon, and it steals our focus. And what would happen to our focus if we had like in 1970, if back then we were able to like, if we didn't have the limitation of NASA, and we didn't have the limitations of, we would focus our technology on the people. We would focus the technology on the earth plane. We would focus the technology on true education and true harmonics and true truth itself. Like, technology would be focused on truth itself. If it wasn't focused on, finding stones to put on a crown, or enforcing fear all over the planet with war and destruction. Like, if technology was used for people instead of against people, we would have a focus on a collective scale and an individual scale. We would have a deeper connection. We would be closer to each other if we weren't designed by design, by this artificial reality, to understand us as being so separate, because there is a Great Britain and a queen who rules over, and she acts, and subconsciously is a part of all this underground, just vampiric, parasitic bullshit that is built within the entire system itself, and that creates that subtle state of hopelessness, that creates that whole space of fear. And there's like, we can't do anything about it. Choosing the lesser of two evils is that evil space. We keep choosing this evil plan one after another or these people who run this system one after another, because we don't know that we have a purpose. We don't know that we have a deeper connection to ourselves and each other and this earth plane. We don't know is because these people who are put out in our face, they constantly tell you, oh, we're almost knowing, we almost know, we'll know soon, we'll get there. There's no depth there. The thing that is worshipped is fear and death and emptiness. Like with the Big Bang, they're basically telling you that you're a ghost. You're an empty shell. You have no connection here. And there's a science to back up that, because that's just like trying to find God in only math and explain your creator or the Most High, whatever you want to call your connection to an infinite space. You only being able to explain something mathematically. Like, it's dead. There's no connection there. There's no warmth. There's no humanity there. And that's what these people are based on. They're based on death, magic, death magic. Science and math is the most basic, generic, dead version of understanding your reality, and that's what the mainstream is all about. And in order to make that dead reality more lively, they have to create a university system and politics where you vote for this, and Hollywood's where it makes it look alive and makes it look human and emotional, and adds like this sexual part. You can identify with sex, you can identify with love, you can identify with fear, you can identify with religion, you can identify with holidays and sports and social media and your passport, and they tell you like, oh, this is your name, you're a slave just like everybody else, capital letters. Oh, you can identify with war, and you accept the colonialism that's led up to you accept the fact that all this information in the news is total bullshit, and still have to go out there and vote. We accept all this stuff. This dead reality is amplified in order to make us living dead. And then the artificial reality of Hollywood and politics and going to work and reproducing, getting married, all that stuff is to have us exist slightly alive without any purpose. Our purpose is given to us, and we stay in this hopeless state of fear and separation until we're done. And then we get caught up in that over and over again, and we have to be lied to on the deepest levels of our experience, from understanding or misunderstanding our connection to the earth plane, our creation, each other, ourselves. Everything has to be thrown in there. And side effects like a diseased society and health. And just for one example, like, just people knowing that they have a purpose would affect their health, even if it's only on the placebo effect, which was not even understood even further, because the placebo effect could just be a name for how we actually heal ourselves, because that's actually what it is. They can't explain it. So the placebo effect would be greater if people would be more in the know of, our purpose and what all this stuff means. Where do we come from? Where are we going? Why are we here? instead of stuck in a space of just apathy and scientific mathematic bogus bullshit of this is what happened. You are coming from dinosaurs in evolution, and you are a mistake of nature who came from monkeys and made the internet and laptops and now the iPad. And this is the way it is, and we create your future, and shut the hell up and go back to sleep. Like it's sickening. It literally is a diseased state of being. And once we have these masters who create our reality, then that inherently makes us slaves, whether we recognize it or not. And the only thing that keeps it going is our involvement and allowing it with liking this stuff, watching TV, watching this stuff as if it's not on purpose. Like when people watch TV, most people don't watch it from the perspective of being designed as a magic show to destroy you, being designed as a magic show to distract you and keep you and program you and condition you in a state of complacency and sickness and disease. Like we see it as entertainment, and that's how we recognize it, and we kind of like rationalize it. We see, oh, this is entertainment. Oh, it doesn't affect me that way. I just watch it, and this and that. But no, this is affecting us. It's affecting our generations, our actual coding. It affects our dreams. That's my main point, and I'm gonna leave it off on that. Like when we go through all of these systems of distraction, and we go through all of these systems of control and pay into these distractions, we limit ourselves in how we experience our reality and how we create our reality, how we relate with each other, how deep our love is for ourselves, our relationships, our families. Our very nature is limited. Our connections are limited, and our dreams are extremely affected. And that's where I want to leave it, because dreams are so. Everybody dreams, whether we remember them or not. Everybody dreams. And when you have people dreaming about like the cities, or people dreaming about going to work instead of being out in nature or being in something beautiful, like when our dreams are stolen like that, that's when it's big. There's something there. We gotta focus on this and figure it out. And on a waking state dream, we can see like kids are still dreaming. Like today, there's a kid who's watching some damn NASA video right now, and is thinking, I want to do that. I want to be a NASA engineer, and I want to go into space. Telling themselves this lie right now. Like that's a sad ass story. That's really jacked up, and it's put out there to be that way, to keep people in that limitation space. So like, what would happen if in 1970 we figured out that the earth was flat, and then we had, instead of today going through this and working it out, like what's going to for example purposes, what would change, what's going to change, what we're changing right now, how deep this story goes. If we go back in time for a moment, we'll be able to see how more vast this whole realization is. Like what's all created here. Like for the last thing, our dreams would be so much bigger. Our dreams would be so much more vibrant, and our dreams would be so much more inclusive with each other, the earth plane, our creation, our energy as a whole, our health, our balance, our community, our power, our strength, our self-confidence, our insecurities would be zilch, because we would have a knowledge of self, and we couldn't be really fucked with, because we wouldn't be in a state of hopelessness and powerlessness and slaves to masters. We'd be the ones holding all the power individually and collectively. And that's a different world. and this is what's happening right now. So if we can go further than that, then in these conversations, and not get caught up in like who's right or who's wrong in this whole like bickering back and forth of, you know, models of the earth and all this stuff, and really expand the conversation to go bigger than that, then we'll be able to move a lot more. The focus would be a lot more. Yeah. So I'll leave it there. Thank you for joining me. And till next time, peace, love, and harmony.